Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. We're going to talk about that Bitcoin drop. But did you see it coming? Let's find out. So welcome. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the bell button, comment, all kinds of good stuff. It helps, honestly. Thank you for the feedback, comments. It's amazing. Obviously, my YouTube's growing quite nicely right now, and I want to just give you good content every single day if I can. So let's talk about the Bitcoin dump. On my socials, you'll probably see quite a lot in terms of like what I put on, my Instagram stories, what I put on Twitter, most importantly on the screen here. I was shouting, do not buy into Bitcoin. People were going, oh, it's 10k, it's above 10k, look at all this, all the posts, and freaking hell. Honestly, people are FOMOing into positions where it's obviously overstretched, and there's all kinds of data proving that. So let's look at a few little things, and I'm going to go over a few little tweets that have been going out over the last few days showing you exactly what was happening. And it was that obvious when you start looking at this data that whales were trapping retail investors and we were going to get smashed, right? So just sit, relax, chill out, get a pina colada, watch it all unfold, okay? So first tweet, this one's actually from this morning, and this one's very, very important, mainly the bottom line. Volume. We can clearly see a greater presence of supply than demand. That was also present last week. Volume of buyers, real legitimate people buying into Bitcoin, was lower than the start of May. Red flag number one. Nothing's going to fly through a top level resistance level without genuine buyers. It could with genuine buyers, but without, not so much. We know already with one of my videos that I put out, one or potentially two whales, possibly, over a load of wallets with 100 Bitcoin in each wallet were pumping the market. What it looked like, in my personal opinion, it looked like a way to get the miners out of the way. And I'll come on to that in a second. But when you've got more supply than demand, the price is going to come down. Simple as that. So that is one thing to address on the motion of it. The second bit of information is also this. This also came out this morning showing that the top traders, essentially, versus the retail noob investors, pretty much us, getting slaughtered. They pulled out the market, retail investors were FOMOing in. So basically what this would indicate, that FOMO was catching people out. People were going on, ooh, Binance, ooh, margin trade, yay, we're going to 20k, boys and girls. Yeah, this is a rug pull, simple rug pull. I've been calling it for a while now, and a lot of people give me shit, right, for going, oh, you're so bearish. But the fact of the matter is, bulls get people wrecked. Bears play a totally different game to bulls, right? Risk management wise. I don't think people understand how bear mentality works and how it really works in terms of risk management. Bears hold Bitcoin, They accumulate going the opposite way. They make more money than the longs. When you go long, especially if you're only investing in a coin, you only make fiat most of the time. So if you bought, say for example, Zilliqa, you bought it low, sold it high, cool. When you're using margin, you're obviously growing your accumulation. If it goes the wrong way for a bear, they're still holding Bitcoin. I don't think people realize that. So when you start looking at how the bears work, there's always a way to get out of a position very, very quickly with a stop loss and not lose anything. They've still got a winning ticket. Most bears are like that. Bulls, on the other hand, they're exposed to the whole market. And what the problem is stuff like this. Tweets come out. On the basis is starting to get juicy. It should be to earning 0% at the bank. Thanks, Jay, but this rally ain't real until we take out 15k. This was the trigger line, along with a few other little tweets as well from different people, telling people to buy into Bitcoin, to do this and the other. I personally looked at this as a bearish tweet. Not the fact that it was a signal to sell, but I also understand that Arthur Hayes has such a massive manipulative pull on the market. What he says goes. If he says, for example, Bitcoin is massively undervalued at 9k, you expect it to pump. you'll expect it to pump. If he's saying now this is not real until we take our 15k, it's a sign that it's potential weakness. If we can't get through 10,500, it's weak. It's not going to do it. So massive undertaking of what things are. And then you got tweets like this. You know it. I'm never going to go below 10k again. How many times have people said this? How many times have people been burnt by saying stuff like this? Happens all the time. So going back a little bit, miners. This is massive. This is on my Facebook group. You can jump in the link below if you so wish to. Now, my thought process is, I think whales have been trapping retail investors up high to distribute mining equity essentially into fiat again, whatever, to allow the difficulty adjustment to drop over time. This would allow miners to stay in the game for longer. This would allow them to kind of just carry on as normal essentially without knocking their machines off. This is a relatively high place to be. The fact that the output went really high would indicate that miners sold off. Boom, off you go, son. Distribute. So I mentioned a few days ago that we are looking to hit distribution phase. It looks very, very apparent that we are about to do that, but again, it takes time. Distribution phases take a long time. As I mentioned in that previous video, we could be distributing, we've probably been distributing all over May, up and down, up and down, up and down. Now to see if that supply element does not meet demand. If that's the case, we're just going to drop. Vroom. If we get to certain levels, which I'm going to come to the chat now, we're going to free fall. And people don't like free falling because it hurts. And this is where bulls get wrecked more than bears. Bears only get wrecked if they're reckless. Bulls get wrecked because they act like pigs. They get slaughtered very, very quickly. I always say that if Bitcoin goes to a certain point low enough, I will become a bull. I will become a bull at 4K. And I will piss everyone off. And I've openly said that. I will piss people off because I'll be telling people to buy at these low levels and I'll just be constantly doing rockets all the time, right? And in that case, it's valid because we're going to go up. People become bulls here. It's the proof of acquisition. It's a proof of success. It's a proof of all kinds of nonsense, realistically, that certain YouTubers, certain Twitter following, community groups, whatever, only become bullish when everything's gone to the moon, when everything's working out rosy. That isn't how you invest. You invest in the top assets that are undervalued, that will perform over time due to good fundamentals, good tokenomics, good pumpermentals essentially, good technicals, good team, good community, good driven mentality of, yeah, all that good stuff. But people always look, oh my god, Bitcoin's 10k, let's buy it. No. There's people buying Bitcoin at 9k. I cannot fathom it. Anyways, what I put on my premium group yesterday, again, link below. No obligation to buy in, by the way. I put this, bearish divergence. I was like, right, boys and girls, this is going to drop. By the way, this setup here on the 4-hour time frame is a potential play. This is risky, though. I don't like trading, you know, realistically, I don't like giving calls after a dump because it's always a bit iffy. But if this does go into this area of resistance again, weekly level is down at 8,700. No, 8,500. That could be the one drop point where it could really hurt the market. So that could be the free fall zone, potentially. So the way I trade, by the way, just to let people know, a lot of people do ask me, I'm a positional holder. So I've been short for a while. I've been short around this area. Actually, I'm underwater at the moment, but you know, in and around this area, very, very low leverage, very, very low equity, and I aim to get a big move. My big move will be around to the 7,000 levels, going from basically 9,000 all the way down to 7,000 on low leverage, using decent equity, basically growing Bitcoin as I sit and hold Bitcoin anyway. That's how I play it. It's a very, very easy way of doing it. So looking at this, it's looking very, very bearish overall. This is the third hard rejection, but when you look back in time, we've had a number of rejections in the past, as you can see, all the way from August, right? So be mindful of this area. It's massively important that you understand that. Currently, right now, who knows what can happen in terms of resistance levels, but if there's distribution of sellers up here that's kind of just been floating around and there's low demand, expect the price to carry on falling in my viewpoint. And what I'm looking at as a potential area where we could go, just to give you an insight, I think this line here is the most important. The 6,800, the 618 Fibonacci level. I think people don't like it. People think, oh, you're an idiot. We're never going to 7K. We're never going to 6K. Trust me, it will happen. Honestly, if you feel that it's not going to happen, you're not looking at the charts correctly. You're not looking at this overall trend. Obviously, anything can happen, right? But if you rule out, oh no, it's never going to go down to there again. In March, we were all the way down to 3,700 as a wick, right? Don't rule anything out. Trust me. If you rule things out, you will get burnt. So be prepared for a drop, in my personal viewpoint. Ideally, what I would love to happen is a drop down to 7,000 areas, and then from there, rocket way beyond 10K. That'd be amazing. That's what I want, because we all make money. But if you are long on the corn here at resistance levels on numerous rejections, the risk reward is pretty low. The bearish divergence is telling you a story. The miners selling is telling you a story. The volume is telling you a story. Just don't fall into the trap that the bears are basically going to put you into. Simple as that, really.